Don't wait for tomorrow. Live for today. Keep chasing the sunshine and go out and play.
Hello, hello, welcome everyone to another deal reveal. And tonight it is actually a deal revealed because the property we're going to discuss today is a property that closed. Funny enough, this is a duplex that was featured on the deal reveal a couple weeks ago. Nobody decided to jump on it. And so we did. And we closed on it today. And so we're going to take a look at really quickly uh, to see if there's cash flow in this deal, if it's a good deal. And then we are going to invite you to the upcoming epic blueprint that's going to take place not this weekend, but next weekend. We are right about a week away, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, from the epic blueprint, where we're going to show you from A to Z how you can do this all by yourself, even if you didn't have the deal reveal, which is basically a conveyor belt of deals every single week that you can take action on. So with that being said, welcome. I know there's a bunch of people still logging in now, but we're going to get started. So first and foremost, bonjour à André. Hello to Andre, who's in the room. We have a couple Benoits. We have Bobby. We have Bolu, Brian, Charles, Dennis, Eric. Hello, hello, hello. We have Harry and Jenny and John and Leonard. Hi. We have Martin. Martin, you owe me a follow-up. We have Nancy, we have Peter, we have Pierre-Marc. Hey, it's been a while. We have Rich, we have SP, we have Stan, we have Sylvie and Varun. And more people are logging in. Apologize if you're not on time. No shout out for you, but hello and welcome. And if you're on the extended YouTube or Facebook Live right now, nice to have you on board. At any point, you can use the chat or the Q&A feature to throw in your questions. We do try, and most times we get through all the questions along the way, but we try to keep this short. My time and your time is precious, and we want to show you that U.S. real estate does not have to be rocket science. In a few seconds, in a few minutes maybe, we can get a very good idea of what a deal is and if it's worth pursuing or not, putting in an offer at the very least, conducting our due diligence, and so forth. So hello, Sylvie and Dennis and Brian and Benoit and Stan, who just said hello back. Appreciate the interaction. All right, let's get started. The deal of the week. Here it is on Gruss Avenue, a duplex purchased for $65,000. Now, it was not turnkey at 65, but it just so happens that the way the deal butler constructed this deal, the seller agreed to sell this property, do the renovations, and sell at a 10% discount at least. So he's going to do the renovations. We put money in escrow for the renovations to happen, but we are only going to buy it at a future defined price. So once the rehab is completed, we're going to have it appraised, basically for our refinance. We're going to have it appraised, and whatever that appraisal is, we're going to take 10% off, and that's the final purchase price of this deal. And we're holding $45,000 in escrow up until that point. And so is he going to make 5,000, 20,000? I don't know. It depends on what the appraisal comes back at. So we are guaranteed to buy with a 10% discount. And let's take a quick look to see what this is going to cash flow. So two golden rules of real estate: buy at a discount. I forced it. I'm buying a turnkey duplex with 10% discount. I think that's pretty solid in and of itself. It doesn't even matter what it appraises for because we have on paper and money in escrow that we are buying at a discount. Pretty cool, huh? And second, cash flow. Let's see if we're cash flowing, even if we had to pay 65 and 45, which is 110 for this turnkey duplex. Let's see if we have cash flow. Now, where this property is located, definitely not the best area, not the worst area, right in the middle, but I would absolutely want to have guaranteed rental income from this property. So I'm going to place a Section 8 guaranteed rent tenant in both sides of this 4-2 duplex. So there's 2 bedrooms, 2 bedrooms. We're going to see what Section 8 can pay in this zip code. All right, so that's the task here, to see if we have cash flow on this property. So I'm going to go to my CMHA rent determination app right here. I'm going to plug in the zip code 44108. I'm going to see that a 2 bedroom can pay up to $11.29 per month. This is paid by the local government. Well, not the local government. This is Section 8, CMHA. This is actually the federal government. 1129. Now that's assuming we pay for all utilities, gas, electric, water, sewer, all of it. But we don't do it like that. We like to cover water and sewer, and we like the tenants to pay gas and electric. And so because of that, they will not pay the maximum of Section 8. So I'm going to reduce by about 150 bucks per unit. So instead of 1129 per month per side, I'm going to dock it down about 150. I'm going to say there's $1,000 coming to me every month per side, times 2 per side. So there's 2,000 a month coming in on a $110,000 investment. Now keep in mind that's the most I'm going to pay. It might come in lower than that if the appraisal comes in lower. But let's say worst case scenario, 2,000 a month coming in, 12 months a year, we have $24,000 of gross rental income. And since we're in Cleveland, we bought it at 65,000. All of our taxes, our insurance is going to be very, very low compared to, say, a Florida property or most other markets in the US where property values are a lot higher. And so I'm going to use a 40% expense ratio, or I'm going to multiply this 24,000, the gross rental income, by 60%. I'm going to pretend 40% goes away for taxes, insurance, management, maintenance, my side of the utilities, and what's left is 60% of that 24,000. So I'm going to make 14,400 of cash flow because I bought this cash, okay? 14,400 a year is what's going to come in from this investment, and I will have bought it for, at worst, 110,000. So if you divide your cash flow by your total purchase price or project cost, you get the cap rate, which is at 13%. So what I did here is I bought a turnkey duplex at a 10% discount with a 13% cap rate, or a 13% cash on cash return. So, two golden rules. Are we buying at a discount? Are we buying cash flow? You tell me. Deal or no deal? And this is a deal that I showed you on the deal reveal a couple weeks ago, right? No one jumped on it, so I did. That's how it works. So, do we have a deal or no deal this week? Look at that. I did this in 5 minutes, guys. All right. Two golden rules. Are we buying at a discount? Are we buying cash flow? It's as simple as that. Now, it was really funny. Thank you so much, Stan. Stan says it's a deal. I saw a couple hearts and thumbs up. Appreciate the interaction, but that's how quick it is. That's how quick it can be if you're just looking at the fundamentals with these deal reveal tactics. Now, I did a little post about this deal earlier today on Facebook, and someone said, "Can I have it?" And it made me think, I mean, yeah, if you want this, we'll have to add up a little bit more. There has to be some margin for a profit. But if you want this deal, I can maybe convince Janie to sell it. Just send us an email at info@jkrealestatepartners.com. First come, first serve, no bidding wars here. We bought it today. I mean, we don't like selling real estate, we like buying real estate. But if you are interested, let's have a conversation. If not this deal, then the next one, because I've got 2 more under contract right now that I'm working as the deal butler for our deal butler list. So we can make things happen if you're ready and you're serious. Beautiful. Thank you, JK team. The email is also in the chat if I move on to my next slide. So that's it. That's our deal reveal. 5 minutes in and out. Would you be okay if we showed you how to do this from scratch? Like I mentioned, the deal reveal is a conveyor belt. I'm just bringing you a deal, sometimes two, every single week. You don't even have to find the deal. You don't have to negotiate the deal. You don't have to do anything. But some people realize that if they learn these skills, they would be able to get deals, maybe even better or cheaper than what is presented on the deal reveal. So are you interested to learn how to do this on an accelerated timeline? That is a yes or a no. If the answer is yes, stay until the end. If the answer is no, or if you're already participating in, not this weekend, but next weekend's Epic Blueprint. That's what I'm going to present in the next, minutes. All right. The Epic Blueprint is a 3-day training where we teach you from the ground up how to buy with those two golden rules, but we also teach you how to recycle your capital, how to scale a business, how to make sure your foundation is solid. So, what will you learn by attending this 3-day, Friday, Saturday, Sunday of not this weekend, but next weekend? You will learn how to set up the proper legal entities so you don't get double taxed and you are bulletproof from lawsuits. That's pretty awesome. We're going to teach you where and how to find deals. How did I find this off-market deal? In fact, how did I negotiate into this deal a discount? How did I negotiate into this deal free management for 2 years? These are all bells and whistles that are behind if you know how and where to ask, what time to ask them. How do you analyze and evaluate deals? Now, in the deal reveal, in 5 minutes, I show you how to analyze them very, very quickly. So, not the bullshit meter, but like where this deal is going to land more or less. But before you buy a property, I hope you do the full due diligence, and that's something we will teach you. What is the full due diligence process when buying a property in the US as a foreign national? Then, if you want or if you need financing, where do you go? Who do you ask? This is something that we can definitely help you with. Um, Everything contracts. So I mentioned a little bit. I included this. I included that. Well, it's because there's the base purchase and sale agreement, but then I added extra bells and whistles. I added extra addendums, extra guarantees, extra paperwork to make sure that everything is there and I'm protecting my assets, protecting my money, even before we buy a property. We're going to show you 19 different ways to creatively buy real estate in the States, sometimes with no money down. That's pretty awesome. We're going to show you how to manage those properties remotely, ideally not yourself, ideally with a team on the ground. We're going to show you how to recycle your capital so you never run out. So yes, I bought this property cash, but in 2 months, my money is going to be out of this deal and back in my bank account to do it again, right? How do you do that? Ultimately, we're setting you up to win. We're going to analyze more deals live during that Epic Blueprint, and we want to show you that right now the market is prime and ripe for the picking. All right, so this is what you're going to get. You get the 3-day Blueprint course. It is a live virtual training, April 4th, 5th, and 6th, not this weekend, but next weekend. Just that training valued over $3,000, no questions asked. How do I know? 10 years ago, when I did my first 3-day real estate training, I paid more than that. All right. And we're giving way more, as you're going to find out very shortly. So, in addition to the 3-day, where we teach you the 5 steps to your first US property, we're going to show you how to set up. We're going to show you how to find deals, how to find money, how to set up the management, and then how to scale the whole operation. In addition to that, we are throwing in our ultimate real estate calculator and training tutorial videos on how to use it. So that's an extra $57 in value. In fact, probably more than that. But it is the same calculator I use before buying a property, right? The deal reveal is great to get a good sense up front, but before you buy it, please put in your numbers into the ultimate real estate calculator to know all of your metrics. What is the cash on cash return? What is OPEX, right? Your operating expense ratio. All of these metrics, the internal rate of return, your cash flow year 1, your cash flow year 10. If you exit, what would be your internal rate of return after year 7 if you sold? All of these fun numbers are in the ultimate real estate calculator. Then we are also throwing in the Quick Start Bootcamp. This only comes into play after the weekend. So you're going to attend the weekend, but we're not going to let you go. We're going to keep on keeping you accountable. We're going to keep on holding your hand to make sure that you find deals, off-market deals, just like I do, and we're going to show you how to find the money to fund and finance those deals. I'm talking private capital. I'm talking partners. I'm talking all the different places, your RRSPs, your registered funds. We can use all of those to buy properties in the US. So that Quick Start Bootcamp is a 5-week post-blueprint training valued at $111, and we're throwing that in for you. So you're going to get the 3-day, you're going to get the calculator, you're going to get the Quick Start Bootcamp. You're also going to get our roadmap to your first US property. That is an interactive ebook or audiobook. So if you like my voice, I also narrated it for you so you can listen to me before going to bed or as you drive to work or whatever the case might be. So we have a roadmap which shows you really what happened in our first year with our first properties. What traps did we fall into? What are the things you should avoid in your first year from a mindset perspective, but also from a number crunching perspective, and asking you some very important questions like, is your home an investment? Where you live right now, is it an investment? Is it an asset? I'm going to challenge you on that question, and we're going to find out to see, where your mindset is. Is your mindset ready for scale? Or maybe do we need to do a little few tweaks before we do it? We learned a ton in our first year, and you're going to compress that first year in a matter of an hour and a half, the time you get through that ebook, and there's exercises in there. So that's 57 extra dollars that we're throwing into the mix for you. But wait, in addition to that, we are also going to throw in the 9 powers of real estate. This is a training that shows you why real estate is so powerful. More than, I don't want to compare directly, but real estate has 9 powers. How does it compare to stocks and bonds? How does it compare to commodities and gold, silver? How does it compare to crypto? How does it compare to, options trading? How does it compare to all those different types of investments you might already be doing, considering doing, or have experience doing? We particularly love real estate because it's got 9 powers. 9. Cash flow and buying at a discount are just 2 of its powers, right? Can you buy a stock at a discount? No, you have to pay today's price for that stock. Real estate, today's price for that duplex, I'm guessing, is about 130,000, and I'm going to buy it at a 10% discount. So you can do this. You can negotiate and buy equity. You can buy value day one, which is very difficult to do in other asset classes. So that training, $111 that we're throwing into the mix. So we got $3,669 of value thrown into. If you take action today with the Epic Blueprint, a 3-day training, you can get it for $100, right? $100. If you scan the QR code on the screen right now, or JK team, if you drop the link in the chat so people can just click on the link that's right here, jkrealestatepartners.com/epic-blueprint, you can join this 3-day training that we paid 10 years ago over 3,000, well, we paid $3,500 US. You can get this and a lot more for $100. If you're at all curious about real estate investing, this is the time to see if it's really something you want to do or just something that you're dreaming about. It's going to forever stay a dream for you. And that's cool too. But we want in our community action takers, people who are going to follow the blueprint, follow the successipe until they get results. And that's exactly what Matisse did. Let's just see what kind of results he got in his first 6 months.
Hi, my name is Matisse and I live in Toronto. I'm French and I've been in Canada since August 2019. I signed up last year in February or March 2023 with JK because I knew nothing about real estate, and I did a bit of investments in France but nothing in Canada, nothing in US, and I had to learn a lot, and I was looking for something that would teach me everything I needed to know, but I wanted to learn from people that were actually doing it. I didn't want to learn from people that had ideas or opinions. I wanted to learn from people with great successes and serious experience. So I did several fantastic trainings, but there are 3 that I really want to recommend. First, I did the Blueprint program, the live training in Florida in April of last year. And I took the VIP package, which was fantastic because I got to spend the time with the team for the entire time of the training, and I had unlimited access to Janie and Kyle and could ask all the questions I wanted. I also watched 2 other trainings, the Blueprint Expanding Program and What the Gurus Don't Tell You, 2 other phenomenal trainings that made me learn so much. Since then, since that first training in April 2023, I've been able to open my legal entities, keep on training, keep on learning. I acquired a first duplex end of October, a second one end of January. Both are cash flow positive, and yes, it's been an amazing journey. And well, I know I would have never been able to do that much within less than a year without working with them. And what made me two things made me want to sign up with them. A, they're phenomenal people. Two, they actually walk the talk and they know what they're talking about, and what they teach is what has helped them become successful. They might not be for everyone, but the only way to find out is just to talk to them, and it's been one of my best business decisions ever.
Sorry about that. Forgot to unmute myself. So that was Matisse. Very kind words. Matisse is an astute learner. He asked a ton of questions during his time in the blueprint, and that's perfect. Being a teacher myself, I love questions. There are no stupid questions, only stupid answers. So I'm on the hook, not you. But at this point, you got a choice. You can either go ahead and see if it's for you, or not, and that's cool too. I mean, you can join us next week. There's more deals, and there's going to be another opportunity to join the Epic Blueprint next Thursday because it's next Friday. Very, very exciting. And yeah, it's going to be a great time. We are ultimately giving you a blank check. Obviously, over the years, Janie and I have acquired millions and millions and millions of US real estate, starting with $39,000. So it is literally a blank check. And I'm really curious to see what you write on this check that we're giving you. That first check might be your first cash flow check, right? Because you are not allowed to buy a property that doesn't cash flow. So it's either going to be cash flow of $100 to $5,000 a month on your first deal. And yes, there are properties that can cash flow $5,000 a month. It won't be a duplex in Cleveland for $65,000, but there are properties and opportunities where there's that much cash flow. So with that cash flow, you're one step forward, you're compounding your system, you're building cash flow, which makes the next deal even easier to acquire because every time you buy a property, you're building cash flow. So that's either the first kind of check you can write for yourself, or the other kind of check would be a reality check, because if you decide not to take action, well, US real estate will not help you on your journey to financial freedom. So 60 or 90 days or 6 months later, you'll realize that, well, you don't have that cash flow thanks to US real estate. But ultimately, not here to twist your arm. The choice is yours. But you can decide now what you write on that blank check. And we're very, very excited to help you write it on that, on that blank check. So with that being said, we also host some live events in Cleveland. The next one is going to be in May. So for the people who attend this blueprint next weekend, well, we're going to also say, hey, there's an opportunity to join us in Cleveland to touch and feel and smell and taste some of these properties, including the 19 unit that we have under contract right now that's going to be closing in about 45 days in downtown Cleveland, one of the few remaining Millionaire Row mansions in Cleveland. So a piece of Cleveland history downtown is going to be on the tour. We just confirmed it. We got permission to view it, even though we won't technically have purchased it yet. And we're so excited to show you this beautiful city that we now live in, and show people how to make it home as well. Even if you don't live here, I'm sure you can call it home for your investments. We have thousands of members in the community, and we have collectively acquired over $100 million of US real estate. So congratulations to the JK community for the Now for Tomorrow Clubbers. We're really, really excited and honored to be with you in this beautiful journey. We're also, it's not just Janie and myself, right? We also have coaches, we have star members who have a bigger role to play in the community. And so I'd love to introduce you really quick. We're about to wrap up here, but Amanda, who's one of our community members, who was actually a one-on-one client of mine, who then graduated that program and became a coach for the JK organization. So here's a few words from Amanda when she was, 6 months ahead of you, right? She went to the blueprint, she did the training, she put it in place, and then did this video about a year after she had learned the process.
Like I would not have been able to do any of this without, Janie and Kyle and JK Real Estate Partners and the community and the support. Honestly, like the education is top notch, so detailed and helpful, like step by step. Honestly, I'm very grateful to have found you guys last year and to be part of the community. It's been life-changing for sure.
What would you say is the one big takeaway? You're 1 year into this, well, 6 months of acquisitions, 1 year into the learning process. you're just, I hope, seeing this as the beginning of your journey with so much more opportunity ahead. But you're 1 year in. Some people are just thinking about starting their first week, their first month, but you're 1 year in with this. What is your advice for the people listening in?
Like education for sure is important. Making sure you're setting yourself up for success to know how to do this properly, safely, correctly, but take action. Like just do it. Just make a move. Yes, it's a bit scary and you're worried about making a mistake and all these things, but just do it. Take action. Don't sit back. Just do it. At least one. Just try it, kind of thing.
Don't be lazy, but do like the Lay's chips, but you can't just have one. So this is how you get instant access to your blueprint. The QR code, the link is on the screen and also in the chat. And here, if you're still on, you're clearly interested to learn about US real estate. And so if you take action today, and JK Team's on here, pay attention, JK Team. For those of you who take action today, we're going to throw in a one-on-one coaching session with one of the JK coaches. For the first, how many people are on the call? Okay, we got for the first five. For the first five people tonight, we are going to throw in a one-on-one call with a coach. Just that bonus call is worth over $250, okay? So it's a no-brainer at this point. We'd love to have you. We're excited to show you the way and do now for tomorrow. Go get your miracle, everyone. Thank you so much, everyone. Have a great evening. We'll see you soon.